quick pause before we start. I have a new Discord server in the description if you want to join that. It will have these videos and you'll be able to suggest questions for the upcoming people. And also just make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so this video can be seen by as many people as possible because Renan's a really cool dude. All right, now we start.
Let's do it.
All right. Hello, everyone, and here we are with Renan, the ex-community manager of Yeeps.
Hey, guys.
And we're just gonna ask him some questions today. So, first one, how you been, Renan? How you doing?
Um, I'm doing great. I'm working in a community agency where I'm actually doing more Discord stuff in for crypto companies and yeah, I've been doing this for the past month, I think. And before that, I was just working in another community agency, a marketing agency where I was doing everything related to community. But yeah, I've been pretty well.
You've been pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, all right, let's just go on to the first question then.
Mhm.
How did you end up joining Trass?
That's a good question. Actually, it was really lucky. So what happened is that I was working in another company called Big Time, where it's a gaming company as well, and actually Steve is really friends with the COO of that company, which was called Doug, and it was a time where Eeps was growing a lot, and Steve reached out to Doug to ask if he knew someone that would be able to help him. And they sent that on like internal channels, and I found that quite interesting, like as a very interesting opportunity. So I reached out saying that I was interested. So I scheduled a small interview with Steve. Uh, it was pretty fun, and he liked me. He thought that I had good experiences and that I would be a good fit. And then I started my trial back in May 2024, and yeah, after that, he really liked it, and then I was first just part time, just 6 hours. Then in July, I became full time trans employee. So yeah, that's how I joined.
So, were you always like supposed to like take on as much as you ended up doing, or did that just kind of like sort of escalate? Because by the end, you were doing like before we brought on Gustavo and people, like you were doing a lot, you know?
Mhm. Um, yeah, that's a good question. I think things were just started to escalate, and I started taking more and more stuff because as a community manager, as community coordinator, I was just trying to do whatever I could to help the community grow, the community be happy, the mods be happy, everyone feel heard as well. And yeah, I think that it starts to escalate. That's why we brought Gustavo, and then the end of the year we also brought Gomes, and yeah, I think since it started to grow even more, and I couldn't handle everything, then we needed more manpower, and because of that people started to join the team. But initially I was just doing like Steve was always really open, and he was not demanding me to do stuff. I was just taking stuff over because I felt like it, and I felt that the community needed that. So yeah, that's why I think I was doing what I was doing. But yeah, there's a point that mm, we need more people. One person can't handle it all, and yeah, I'm happy that Gustavo joined, and Gomez, and now you guys have even more people. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty fun.
yeah. Now we have Dewey and Missy and Nadir who've been brought on. I don't actually. I think Dewey was. I don't know. Was Dewey? Did Dewey join when you were still here?
uh he joined. I mean, he joined to take some of my duties. So
All right. Yeah, he was like.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember that. Okay. So
yeah, he's someone that I worked with before. in another company. So yeah, I interviewed him. He was open to that opportunity, and yeah, his skills matched was required, because Gus was one to take half of my responsibilities, and then Dewey to take the other half, more Discord related.
Yeah. So, speaking of Gus, what was it like working with your brother?
Actually, it was pretty fun. He is weird, so he works like way too much, you know. So it's fun to work alongside him, and I he didn't join because he's just my brother, you know. He joined because I knew he could. He's a very hardworking person, and I knew he would do a lot. That's why and the first few months he was doing, I don't know, 2,000 tickets per month. You know, so he was single handedly checking all tickets and taking those over, because it was a time that we were having some issues also with the Discord moderators. We didn't have that many, and not even game moderators that we 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 had a lot of great people, but still not all of them were really active. So and it was a time on Yeeps that I think we had way too many tickets. So
Yeah.
yeah, Gus went to lend some aid, and I think he did his job perfectly, and that's why he is where he is right now. And yeah, but as it's always fun to work with your brother, you know, uh, especially when he's doing a good job. So I don't need to give, I don't know, uh, telling him to get better or anything like that. But I never had to say anything like this. Actually, it was the opposite. I was just like, okay, Gus, now you need to actually work a bit little less, because you're working way too much. but yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah. Are you the younger or older sibling?
I'm the younger one.
You're the younger one? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then I know Gomez as well. He was like your childhood friend, right?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
did he,
Exactly.
I know he kind of told me the story, but I don't recall it. How did he end up joining?
So actually, he was working on investment banking, and he was helping with some stuff related to that back in, I think, September. I mean, he started way back in 2024, in the beginning of 24, doing that for me. And then towards the end of 2024, I was talking about my position, and like working remote, working in a gaming company, the things that I was doing, and he found that really interesting. And a few months, like towards the end of the month, he also left his job where he was working as this investment banking, and he was actually trying to land on a remote position like mine. You know, not exactly as a community manager, but any remote position, because of the benefits, and also because he wanted to experience something like that. And he had a lot of experience with customer support, helping people and he also knew English very well. And it was a time that we had the plushies, right? The plushies just
Yeah.
were just launched, and we had some internal issues. We needed someone to be there as quick as possible. And Gomez, it was just the right fit. You know, he had the experience, he had the requirements to take that job, and I also trusted him, which is very important when you're talking about some private information, like with plushies, that we have some stuff, for example, customer information, uh, and not in even addresses, those things. You know, when we're talking about that information, we need someone that we trust.
Right.
So that's how he landed, basically. You know, it was the right timing. He was looking for a position like that. he I knew he was capable. We needed someone else to join the team, and also, and yeah, I think that was pretty much it.
I remember he was telling me too about how like in Brazil it's very easy for like you to get like trapped in companies where like the only way you can leave is like
Mhm.
getting fired. So that
Yeah,
was another reason he wanted to work remotely.
yeah, That's true, because here in Brazil, if you don't get fired, like if you just quit your job, you don't get any benefits, you know. So yeah, normally you want to get fired, uh, so you can get benefits from the government as well, and you can search your job more easily as well, you know, with no rush, because otherwise you just won't get anything, and you just have empty hands when you leave your job. And also, even, you know, we are from Brazil. It's a third world country, you know, and Traz is from the US. Even the salaries, even just the things that they expect us to do, the working culture, it's much better working with Traz than working here in Brazil in all aspects, you know.
Right.
That's why we always were very grateful. At least I was very grateful of Steve for giving this opportunity, uh, and also those other people that joined after me, to be able to be here until this day. And I know they are doing a great job. So I'm just really happy and really grateful for Steve and all the team. You know, Nathan, Jack, everyone. They all were always really helpful. They were really open, and yeah, really friendly as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
just grateful for them.
Yeah. Was there anything that like surprised you with how they're like internally how the dev team worked and how they like operated and stuff like that?
I think I didn't work before with. I mean, before I joined Trass, I had worked with other gaming companies, but was more on the front lines, like community moderator, without knowing much about what was happening on the back end, right? And I think one thing that surprised me here is that they do stuff very quickly. You know,
Oh yeah.
it is, especially compared to other games that I worked with. One, they had updates like every 2 weeks, every month, like huge updates, and I was just sorry, I was just not expecting that, because in other games there, to one single update, even not that major, would take 3 to 6 months sometimes, you
Yeah.
know. And also because they were more larger companies, which we know they are uh, slower. But yeah, I think in general, just the speed that the devs were able to do stuff and come up with ideas, because they have some really crazy ideas, was what most surprised me for sure.
Yeah. Like it's kind of annoying sometimes because whenever I go on break for a little bit, right, I come back and it's a
Mhm.
completely different game. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know where to like look for things.
Yeah, they are really good in just reinventing the game, and trying to make sure that also people are feel heard, because sometimes they ask for those things and they're like, okay, we're just working on next update that will cover everything that you guys want, you know. Or sometimes just let's try something else totally different and see how the community reacts, right? So yeah, I really love what they do, and this way that they do things.
Changing direction for a little bit. Um, how did the "We Are Dough" meme originate? I'll send a little picture
uh,
here.
yeah, the we are though. So yeah, I think I mean, I always coordinated the reviewers, right? So there, one day we had completed one of the reviews. I don't actually remember which one. And instead of saying we are done, I just I just said we are though. and and yeah, the other reviewers started to mock me, and yeah, even to this day, it looks like they still use it. So so yeah, that's how
Yeah,
it started basically.
trying to pull up this picture. Hold up. Let me put it on screen for the viewers. And then, yeah, this picture right here, that's been going around recently.
It migrated to something else, but yeah, before it was just the screenshot of my message.
Yeah,
That's funny. Yeah, it's an evolving meme for sure. I remember even a few months ago, Gus telling me, "Oh, they are still using that meme every time that we complete a review." So
yeah.
I found that really funny.
Okay. Um, so what was your first like impression of the actual like community? Like I know it's a younger community and it's also a
Mhm.
VR community. So what did you think about that aspect of it?
I actually liked a lot because before going to Yeeps, I have worked for like 2 3 years with more adult communities like crypto communities, those things, and it's very very different. Adults are they are much more. I'd say they are worse than anything else. And working with a younger community, a community that is always uh, I think they are always looking for things to do. They are always very excited. They're always very vocal about things, and and yeah, they just want to have fun. They just want for their favorite game to do better. It's very different from the other communities that I worked with, which were very economic centric. Like they wanted to make money, and they were not really interested in the project. They just were interested in that game or that project was going to do really well, so they would make a lot of money. You know, that's what happens a lot in crypto. So going to a community that is really focused on the game, that really wants the game to grow, really brought me a lot of joy because that's what when I was younger, or and even to this day, when I go to a game that I really like, that's what I like to see. People that are really excited about the game, just talking every day about the game, communicating with the devs, with the community team to make sure that they feel heard and game can improve. So so yeah, I never found that bothering or anything. I really always loved the community, the way that people talk with each other and how grateful they are as well. Normally a lot of people in the community, they all were always really appreciative of me and always supportive. So yeah, for sure there's a few times where we have some people that are trying to spam or are trying to be mean with other people, but it's also part of our job to have patience to help them out, not just straight out ban everyone because they're not following the rules, but understand their situation, why they're doing that. For younger people, we can't be that um, we can't just ban them and whatever. We also want to instruct them to make sure that, okay, let's understand their situation, let's see if we can do something about it as well. And okay, if they don't, if they keep doing what they're doing wrong plentiful of times, okay, then we can ban. But we always want to give them a chance because we know people that are in the community, they really love the game. And and yeah, if we can help somehow, even though they are doing something bad, if we can help them, we are more than happy in doing that, right? So I think that's something that I always try to do. And I know Gus is also someone that does this a lot and always giving more chances to people. And yeah, it's always really fun for sure.
When we first came over to Keeps, we just copied the moderation system from God's Gravity, right? And that
Mhm.
was like really strict. Like most bands started off with like 7 days, right? And
Right.
so, like as you came on and like over time, I just noticed it getting like less and less and less. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely an impact I saw, and I feel like in the end it's better.
Yeah, I think when we are way too strict, we want to have control of the community. When we are on the community team, for sure, we don't want people to keep spamming, to keep doing mean stuff, to saying bad words. But at the same time, if we were on their position, sometimes we would do one of those things. That's what I always think. If I would think in Renan from 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and I was in a community that I really liked, sometimes I would do something bad.
Yeah.
And if it was really strict, I probably would get banned off that community. But at the same time, I know that I'm not that type of person. I'm not a person that uh, would need to get that sort of ban to learn. I with just maybe a mute or a warning or something, I know I would understand and say, okay, this I'm crossing the line here, but I still want to have fun, so I'm going to do other things. I feel the same about Yeeps and about how we try to structure the moderation system. And and yeah, that's why I think, okay, if we know that person is someone that's just trying to have fun, they really like Keeps, because of course there are a few times where people join, they are just trolls, they don't like Keeps, they don't care about Keeps, they are just there to try to create a menace, or to be a menace, or try to create something, a fuss. But we know that most of the people that are in there, they are not like that. So it's trying to differentiate as well those two type of people. The person that really like Keeps, they're there, but sometimes they cross the line. And the other person that even when talking with them, they don't care, they are just trying to be a menace, they are just trying to always hurt the community you
Yeah.
know so differentiating those two is the greatest and the important part. But overall, we know that most of the users that will get banned, or that will get muted, or will get something, will be the ones that are really fans of Yeeps, and that just want the game to be better. So that's why we also need to take care of them. Take care in a good way of just, okay, understanding their needs, understanding why they're doing that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they can be uh, on a hard situation, they're on their life, or just trying to get attention from other people. So trying to understand their situation and trying to, okay, show them that we are there for them. I think that's what communities are about, and that's what we are always try to do in our job, for sure.
Yeah. Especially, I feel like one of the other like difference makers is now that we have like things like Talksmod or nowadays Voice Patrol, it's
Hmm.
a lot easier to catch people if they like repeat, you know? Whereas
Yeah.
before, if they repeat, there's a chance they just get away for months and months, you know? And so I feel like that's another factor that like influences. I'm so glad they found Talksmod and Voice Patrol because like even with 100 moderators, there's no way you could get everything that happens in that game. And the
Yeah.
game just grew so fast.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's really impossible. And the amount of lobbies that Talksmod, Voice Patrol, they were in, and they were able to monitor the situation, were just insane.
Yeah,
So yeah, not even with maybe 1,000 mods, we wouldn't able to do the same thing as Voice Patrol or Talksmod. There are a few flaws for sure, but it's also an evolving system
yeah,
that yeah, was definitely beneficial for the moderation team as well, because otherwise it was just constant vigilance, constant trying to find someone that said something bad, or trying to link one thing to another. It was really hard. So yeah, I'm really
yeah,
glad that it's working even better now.
yeah. And I will say the systems have definitely improved since you've been gone. Just they keep
Mhm.
getting better, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always talking with Gus, with Gomez, and they tell me that, okay, we are still improving that. They still have some flaws, but always getting better, and and yeah, improving their mechanisms. So I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah. Speaking of Gomez, this question comes from him. He asked,
Mhm.
"What is it like having him carry you in every single game you play?"
Oh, it's funny, but yeah, we've been playing some Call of Duty for this past few weeks, and also last year we also played some Black Ops 6. Now we are playing some Black Ops 7. But yeah, it's always fun to play with him. It's always sad that I need to carry him. Actually, it's not the
Yeah.
other way around. But but yeah, it's always fun to play with him. We have been friends for the past 20 years, basically, and I'm 24. So
Dang.
yeah, so it's always a pleasure to be with him, and I'm also happy to just play with him. And also when we worked together, it was also really fun. So
Yeah.
so yeah.
speaking of playing games, did you like what did you think about actually like playing the Yeeps? Like I know you didn't play that often, but when you did you
Mhm.
enjoy it or was VR too like nauseating for you?
Um, I think the first few experiences that I had with VR in general were a bit weird. You know, I had some nausea and stuff, but after just a couple of sessions, I think I was all right. But yeah, as you said, I didn't play Eeps that much, especially because on a time that we had way too many things to do, so I didn't have the time to play Eeps that much. But the times that I played, actually found that the game is very hard. So always was like, oh, how those folks do that, you know? Because I remember that sometimes I was trying to just climb a wall or something, and I just couldn't. You know, it was just way too hard
Yeah.
for me and way too fast paced for me, and I was just very impressed that so many people were able to do those things. And I always like games with high skill ceiling as well,
Yeah.
and that's something that I really was impressed about the community, about some folks. I remember even another. Uh, I'm not sure if Mr. G is still there. Is he still a moderator?
He's still around. I don't think he's been very active recently, but I'm pretty sure he's still around.
Right, because I remember him compiling some stats of people, you know, how well they were doing this or that, and yeah, when even when I see some band maps and stuff, I remember people doing some crazy stuff, and even the speed running community as well. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I was always really impressed about the game, about what people could do, but I myself, since I didn't have that much time, I would be honest that I didn't play the game that much, and not because it wasn't fun. It was just okay. I'm doing other stuff. I'm working on Yeeps like 10 hours a day. I just don't have uh, the power to try to learn this game a lot in after that, you know, because it's just Ips for 10 hours in community in Discord, trying to make sure everything is going well, and
Yeah.
then hopping in Ips right after to play that, you know. Normally I just wanted to do anything else. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I understand. So when the Yeeps Fair first came out, I was coming over from God to Gravity, right? And they're
Mhm.
very different games and very different movements. So I was struggling the first a little bit to like even just move around and walk around, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then I don't even play the game that much for like how much I do. I only think I have like 250 hours at this point with almost 2 years of playing, right? Which
Mhm.
250 is a lot, but there's people who have like thousands, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah. And so I feel like the focus, at least for me, was like I feel like the fun in the game at least always comes from the community aspect of it, right?
Mhm.
Like if there wasn't a soul walking around in the game, I would never touch it, you know? Like fair enough. Like I mean that's fair though. It's a community game, right? So
Yeah,
I my
it
enjoyment in this
is.
game has always come from like being able to do moderations and also just other projects and just being around because it's a really nice community, you know? Very
Yeah,
positive.
no, I totally agree. Yeah, for me it was the same. Just the community is the MVP, you know. So yeah, just being around
Yeah.
them, and in Discord I could do that a lot as well. So that's why I didn't feel I was missing out that much, because
Yeah.
I was with people. I was just trying to help them and gathering ideas as well and everything. So yeah, I also really enjoy the community, and yeah, I think Yeeps is what it is just because the community is really active. Also, you know, I think the devs, they are a great part of that as well, just for hearing the community, for being there, for being really active, which
Yeah.
is sometimes different from other games which you don't have the devs that involved.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think mixing both of them, you know, good devs with experience, also willing to hear people and get feedback, and a good community, happy to give feedback and happy to talk about the game, be excited about the game, is the perfect combination.
Yeah. So, w- as you were joining, the game was growing very quickly, right? Oh,
Yeah.
so was there ever a turning point that it felt like, or was it more just linear?
Yeah, actually, it had a turning point because what happened is that I joined back in May 2024, right? And when I joined, I was actually working with other companies as well. So I working in like 4 jobs.
Dang.
And yeah, I was working with like another marketing agency. I was working with a security company, and then part time on Yeeps. And I was still working as a community moderator on that other game that initially Steve found me. So I was working all of them. Then I worked there in May and June. But in June, I actually approached Steve, and I said, Steve, I know I'm just part time here, but I mean, I I would love to be here for like just have Yeeps as the main focus and become like full time. Otherwise, I'm just going to leave because I can't handle many jobs, you know.
Yeah.
So I actually had to approach Steve in back in June to say that because I was going to leave if he didn't turn me full time because I was just way too tired. I knew I couldn't keep up with that. Like I was working way too much, like probably 16 hours a day to be able to do
16
everything.
hours. That's
Yeah,
rough.
because it was so many things to do, and Ipso was also like I had to do a ton of stuff. So the 6 hours that I was working, I was really doing something because we had to do something. You know, it was regarding moderation system or reviewing or BAM or whatever I had to do. I was doing something, and the other work was also pretty draining.
Yeah.
So I had to do that. And Steve was like, "No, okay, let's talk about it." He was really open. He really said he appreciated me and he wanted to have me as a full time person there. And then in July, I actually became full time and I officially joined Yeeps, officially joined Trass as the community coordinator.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, I was very happy about that. Steve always treated me really well. I mean, he's really the dream boss. I'm not gonna lie. I always talk about this with my brother or with other people. He's very chill. He's very supportive. He's the type of boss that you always really want to have in any company that you work with. You know,
I can see that. Steve is so kind. I always love being around Steve.
exactly. He's so kind. He really is, and he always tries to understand your point. He never tried to minimize something or anything. He always been around, always there for you. So I'm really appreciative of Steve and he did. But yeah, that was a turning point. I was working all those jobs, then I was brought in full time, and then I was able to leave the other jobs.
Yeah.
And yeah, for me it was really I was really grateful for Steve for doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's when I officially turned and became a Trass team, a Trass member team. So yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah. I'm gonna shift a little bit over to like more negative things now.
Sure.
First of all, what was the worst part of working at Tress?
The worst part of working at Trass. Oh, now you got me. Let me think. Um, I don't think it had something that I would call worst. I would call tougher, just
Cover.
because I don't think there was any time that I was like, oh, this is really annoying or this is pissing me off or something like that. I just found that we had some tough experiences where we had to deal with some stuff, especially when, like, for example, the plushies where we had to even hire someone else because it was just going crazy. I wouldn't call that as something bad. It was just
Hard.
good in a way, but yeah, hard. So it was hard to endure all of those things. Um, Even before when after before Gus joined, or a little bit after he joined, we are still we still had a ton of things to do, and also when the plushes happened. I think those like August 2024 and also December were the toughest, the hardest ones in the job, but I wouldn't call them bad. I was actually very happy that Yeeps was growing and people were really excited about the game. But at the same time, it was very draining for us because we had to do a ton of stuff, especially Gus. I mean, Gus was really a hero there. He worked in ways to, went in like too many tickets support just to make sure that people would get their plush before Christmas. So yeah, he
Yeah,
was really the hero there. And yeah, but it was very challenging times for sure. But but yeah,
yeah,
that's what I can think of. Like, oh, the worst part, quote unquote, I'd say was those really tough moments where we had to pour 12 hours a day to deal with those things, you know. But at the same time, challenges were fun, and after we were able to handle them, it was very gratifying. So yeah.
and then what's your like hottest take you have on Yeeps?
Hottest take.
Yeah.
Uh oh. I think that my hottest take is that other other games or even other community members not from Yeeps, they are just missing out the great devs that Nathan, you know, and the other devs in the team are, you know, they have so many ideas. Like as I said, as you asked about the what I was impressed about, like the way they do things, the amount of ideas that they have, the amount of effort they put on things is just crazy, you know. I feel
Yeah,
like my hottest take is that it's just they do such a good job that I feel just that other devs they are missing out on that, you know. They
missing
are
out.
just, yeah, they should learn with them, you know. That's the thing, because I think they are really good on what they do.
Yeah,
So so yeah, I think they should get um more examples from the dev team from Trass. That's what I think.
yeah. All right, next one comes from your brother, Gustavo.
Hmm?
He wanted to ask who would complete only up faster, you or him?
Who would what?
Who would complete only up faster, you or Gustavo?
Oh,
He wanted to ask
mm,
that.
oh man, that's, oh man, we both would fail miserably. That's the reality, you know.
Yeah,
So uh I'm not sure if we would be able to make it, like neither of us.
neither of us.
So
Dang.
yeah. But I think he played more than me, so I'd say that probably he would be able to do it a bit faster. Like
Yeah.
he would take just a day, I would take several days.
And then Gomes would leave you all behind so quickly.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and then I think it's finally time for the big question everyone wants to know.
Mhm.
Are you
Sure.
ever coming back?
Um, that's a good question. I think about this quite often as well, and yeah, maybe
Maybe.
if they ever need me, and I'm open to it. You know, I'm not, or as a part time position or something. You know,
Yeah.
especially before after I actually went to their headquarters, met everyone in person. I did that back in October now, so it was pretty fun, and it really brought some nostalgia to me. And I was like, "Damn, I think
Wait,
I'm gonna ask."
October this year or
Yeah,
2024?
yeah.
Oh, that was only a
Last
month
month.
ago then.
Yeah, last month was exactly a month ago. So it was very nostalgic for me, and I was like, "Man, maybe I should ask Steve to let me back." You know, I was
Yeah,
like that, but then I was already in I was just about to join this other community agency and everything. So I was like, maybe let's wait a bit. Let's see how I will handle this, and if I have some extra time, maybe I'll reach out. So yeah, I'm still thinking about this.
Yeah. I'm honest,
Maybe someday.
I realized I never asked why did you leave in the first place?
Oh yeah, I actually left. It was a really tough decision for me. I was thinking in having new opportunities, new experiences, and what happened is that I received a proposal to work on another state here in Brazil in a in person an office position as a community manager for this marketing agency. And I talked with Steve about it a lot, before deciding.
Yeah,
Um, I was like, Steve, I'm not sure what should I do. I love Yeeps. I love being here, but also I want to have more experiences, more even work in person, which was something that I had never done before that. I wanted to experience that as well.
yeah,
And and then I talked with Steve a lot, and he was like, man, if you really want to go, we always got your back. As always, being supportive, and if that fails completely, don't worry, we got your back. You can come back. You always be one of us. And and that gave me the confidence to actually leave, go there, and try different things. So
Steve is
and
a
at the
wise
same
man.
time, yeah, no, Steve is an awesome person. And yeah, I think I went there to grow, to try new things, to work in person, and I liked a lot. But that didn't last too long because I actually didn't want to stay away from my home, from my family for way too long.
Yeah,
But yeah, at the same time, also, Gus was there, and I knew he would be able to cover things. And then Missy joined as well, and we were able to get Dewey.
yeah.
So
I remember
so yeah.
Gus saying something like he was about to like go say bye to you or like give you something before you left, and then he noticed you already were gone, and he was like sad.
Oh, I didn't know that. Damn. But yeah, uh, that's why I left. You know, but always Steve was always very helpful, very supportive, very nice, very kind.
Yeah,
I don't have enough words to describe him because he really is an amazing person. And yeah, that's why I left, just to try new experiences, try new things, and and yeah, hopefully one day I will actually come back. Yeah, so yeah, looking forward to that day. I'm not sure when that will be, but for sure, something that I really want to do is work with them again, because they're an awesome team. After I even met them in person, it
yeah,
really got me back, that nostalgic feeling of like, oh, I really want to work with those things, with those people. They are really passionate about Eeps. They do just such an amazing job. And also the team grew a lot. You know,
oh yeah,
uh, so so yeah, it was really fun to see all of the new faces and what they are doing, what they are working on, and feel proud about what Ips was able to accomplish and is accomplishing, every
yeah.
single year.
Were
So
there
yeah, but yeah.
any changes you wish you could have like implemented before you left?
Oh, way too many, to be honest.
Yeah,
I had like, but I know that they were able to take care of that. Like, the Discord moderation team, I wanted to do a lot of changes in there, and I was able to do a few of them before I left. I know that Dewey was able to implement even more stuff. So
yeah,
yeah, Discord moderation team stuff, even game mod structure. It we just had changed those the guidelines, the things, um, when I left. So just expanding that, expanding also, and also a lot of things that Nadir did were also really good. Those were things that I also, some of them at least, were things that I had already brought to Steve, saying, oh, we need to do that, or we need to change that to make it easier for people to join in, to
yeah,
navigate to the server. And I'm glad that Nadir was able to do those changes as well. I just didn't have enough time to do them. So
yeah,
yeah, but for sure, I had a lot of ideas, a lot of things I wanted to do, but I just
yeah.
didn't have the time. or the manpower to do them.
I
But yeah,
remember
but
for
sorry, go for it.
I remember for a while there was a lot of people saying like Renan said we would do this, and then like a lot of mods, right? And we were like,
Mhm.
okay, or like, but like since you were gone, it was just like, you know, half of those things were just like either like put to like the side, or So I remember it
Yeah.
took us a while before we were able to like catch up. And I feel like by the end with I feel like at least it's just my perspective on it as a mod. I feel like the support team is much more of a like when you were there, it was like you were in charge, right? And then people were
Mhm.
helping you. I feel like right now, I feel like now it's much more of like a team, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Yeah,
So I mean,
for
Gus
sure.
is like in charge, but like it's like Gomes does game mod, Dewey does Discord mod, Nadir does other things, Missy does plushie, and Missy also does other things I don't think I can say on recording.
Mhm.
Um, so I feel like, yeah,
Yeah, I think it's much more mature now, and people are much more empowered, I'd say, to do stuff. And yeah, that's what I was trying to do as well. but but sometimes I felt that, yeah, the mod team relied a lot on me. But yeah,
yeah,
I'm happy that right now it changed a bit. It switched swift a bit, for so it's more like a team. And I think it was like that before as well.
yeah,
But I feel that now it's more mature. Now people understand more, and also guidelines, rules, they are more well structured as well.
oh yeah,
Because there are more people, right? So Dewey's there, Gomes is now a veteran in Yeeps.
yeah,
Where Because when I joined, when I left, Gomes was 3 months there, 2 months. So he was still learning, in a sense. But but yeah, I feel that now with more people, with people more experienced, uh, the team was able to also evolve and work more as a team. So
yeah,
I really love that. And yeah, the mod team for me, they were always doing awesome job.
yeah.
And
I remember one thing particularly that was at least like that like more personally impacted me was after you left, and also when Gus and Gomes and everyone got so busy preparing for 2.0, right?
Mhm.
The monitoring council kind of got like left behind a little bit. Like
Right.
we were struggling in there for a while. It took
Oh,
some effort to like get it back, and then to like having enough people to like do things.
yeah. Yeah, actually, one of the things that I even told Gus a few months ago, and after I left, I was just like, I really need to revamp monitoring console. That was one of the things that I wanted to do, and I even told Gus exactly what I wanted to do and how that would be better. But but yeah, I don't think he had the time as well to do those things,
Yeah,
because Gus is actually really really busy, and he works way too much.
yeah,
And even working way too much, he's not able to do everything. So yeah. But yeah, going back to that question that you asked, like what things I wish I could have done, or I was going to do. There was a lot of ideas. There are always
yeah,
things that we can improve on the moderation side, structure side, process side, all those places. And I was always really keen, and I was always trying to do those things. But since I was more quote unquote alone on that, it was hard to implement a lot of those things, because it took a lot of time that I didn't have, basically.
yeah,
But yeah, I know that now it's much better. And it's from time to time, I also see things there, and I say to Gus, and I say, oh, Gus, talk with Dewey about this to improve this or something,
yeah,
or Gus, if you can try to do this. Always trying to help, especially just after I left, because asked more questions, and I always was there for him to just help him make sure that things are can run smoothly.
yeah.
So
I
yeah.
remember you were actually on a call with Gomes when I DM'd you about this interview, weren't you?
Probably, yeah, probably. This week we have been talking a lot.
Because
So yeah.
Gomes was like I asked Gomes if he wanted to ask that question, right? And he was like, "Oh yeah, I already know about this because I was on the call with Renan when you asked him about the interview."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was talking with him, but yeah, that's funny.
All right, so
Sorry, I spoiled that for him.
couple final questions here. Um,
Hmm.
do you think there's any misconceptions about you you'd like to like clear up
Misconceptions.
that we haven't already
Um,
answered?
I don't know. I actually don't know. I mean, I always found very interesting the way that people see me or the people talk about me, and I actually don't want to change that. So yeah, whatever you guys feel like talking about me, I'm happy to support them as well.
Yeah,
I I I'm not the type of person that gets irritated with those things, with jokes, with everything.
yeah,
And I always try actually to join them. So every time that I saw a meme about me or about my, even some when they got my picture from, I don't know, LinkedIn or something, and they started to use AI in it, or those memes, the weirdo. I remember there's another meme with, I think it's no idea, where I said like, "Congrats, you are demoted," or
yeah,
something like that. Uh, yeah, so uh, it's always very funny to me. So keep doing that. Keep doing.
yeah,
If you guys want to, if you guys want to do those memes, I'm happy to support them. And yeah, it's always very fun to me, and it always I always feel so much care from the community because of those things. I feel
yeah,
that you guys really enjoy it and enjoyed my time the, the same amount that I enjoyed working with Yeeps, with the community. So yeah, very grateful of those memes as well.
yeah. Now, given like all your time working there, all your experience there, and just all your experience in general, how
Mhm.
long do you think Yeeps is gonna last?
Oh, actually, that's a good question. That's a good question. And let me think. I think the capacity of the devs to recreate themselves and create new stuff that we probably seeing as impossible at first, or we didn't think at first, like the capacity that they have to reinvent themselves is really great.
Right,
So I I think we Eeps will still last a long time, because every time that they see, oh, we are maybe losing a lot of players, or this is not working as intended, this is not as fun as before, then they come up with a genius idea to do something else in Eeps, or to create a new system, or something fun for people to do. So since I think they're really good at that and reinventing themselves, and also they have the plushies, which are fantastic as well. I finally got mine, so I'm really happy about it when I visit them. uh and they are amazing. The
yeah,
plushies, the things they have prepared, the things they have even planned for the future, which I can't say. uh I think they are really great at that. So I still think that Eeps has a long way to go, and I don't think it peaked yet. To be honest, I
yeah,
think it will peak even more. They will be able to have. I mean, they already done that, but they will do more updates, and a few updates that probably will just get even more attention, even more people, and consolidate them as really one of the greatest, which they are already. But yeah, that's why I think they still have a lot to burn. But
yeah,
I can't, I don't have a number of like many years or something, but I
yeah,
do know that the capacity of the team is so great to reinvent themselves that I do think they still have a long way to go.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like what's gonna kill them first is if like VR as a whole dies rather than if
Hmm.
they fail, you know?
True. Hmm.
And
Yeah.
speaking of secrets, do you think there is any like behind the scenes secrets that you could share that isn't too big?
Behind the scenes secret. um Let me think if there's anything. I don't know. I don't know. I think I already shared some of
Yeah,
those things, like just the way I joined, the way that I was brought in full time when Gomez joined.
yeah,
We were doing. I mean, some of those things probably aren't really public or well known. So yeah, I think I already
yeah.
uh,
That's fair.
shared some of those secrets. But because I can't remember anything else like on the spot. So
Yeah.
uh,
All right.
maybe let me think just 1 second about like I think it was really funny the way that we did ban in the beginning. Just I'm not even sure how it is right now, but yeah, I'm just gonna share that it was really fun the way that we were playing with roles, channels, and threads in the beginning of ban. That's what all that I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So
No,
so yeah,
I remember that. It's goofy.
it's very goofy, yeah, but probably people didn't expect that, or even there's something that I can share for sure. The way that I picked new reviewers. So the way that I picked new reviewers was really interesting. So people would type uh, the why they want to be a reviewer, and I would read every single one of them,
Mhm.
and I would pick normally. I would do a list and pick normally the ones that would have bigger answers. Not just like if it was just fluffy, of course I wouldn't pick them, but they would need to have like bigger answers and like three or four different uh, different things that they told they know how to do. If
Yeah.
they did that, I probably would pick them as a reviewer. But if
Yeah.
they didn't fill that those boxes, they didn't check those boxes, I wouldn't. So just, yeah, some behind the scenes. If you wanted to be a reviewer back in the day, you needed to check those boxes.
Honestly, it's probably not that much different nowadays. It's
Yeah,
kind of
so yeah, some alpha there for people that want to be reviewers.
yeah.
And for lab rats, also let me give
Yeah,
a tip for people that want to
we're
be.
getting all the tips.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it is right now, but if you are not if you are not a beta tester in anywhere, just not typing just no and typing okay no, but I really want to be there, I really want to test things. Just showing that you're passionate about it even though you don't have experience, it counts a lot. It, at least for me, it counted a lot. And I would get almost everyone that said they were a beta tester, but people that didn't have that experience, I would get them as well if they said they wanted to be one and explain a bit more about it inside the "Are you a beta tester?" question.
Yeah.
So yeah, some alpha for people there.
Do you have any tips for mod while we're here?
For mods, I mean, you guys actually do a really good job. Uh, Game mods, Discord mods, they know a lot. I remember I was trying to teach some stuff about security, and no, I was able to teach a thing or two, but a lot of people uh, already watched videos from, for example, no text to speech,
Oh yeah.
and
A lot of the
which
Discord mods really like no text to speech.
exactly. And I was like, oh, that's awesome because they already know a lot of the common scam vectors. So that was really amazing and really surprised me, and in a good way. I was really happy about it. But but yeah, I would say for Discord mods, for newer ones, if they haven't watched now text to speech, make sure to watch him because he has a lot of great tips, a lot of great information, and yeah, his videos are really good to learn more about Discord, how it works, this scan trends and those things. So yeah, that's a recommendation from my side.
I think we're almost done here. Do you have any questions for me?
Uh, Yeah, I think my main question and always was like that. How is Gus, Gomez, Dewey, how they are treating you guys?
They're
I'm always sorry. Go on.
at the very beginning, like so when I was just like returning in the because what I do with this game is like I'll be like really active for like 3 or 4 months, and then I'll be like gone for 3 or 4 months, right? And
Right.
then I'll be really active and I'll just be like gone, And that's why I think
Mhm,
that's the reason I've been able to go so long without having to retire. And so
mhm,
when I was just coming back into one of those like arcs again, it really felt like what they were doing was not very transparent, and I don't think that was like intentional. They're not being like, oh, we have to hide this from them, you know. But it was
Hmm.
just probably like them just like getting used to it, right? But
Yeah.
I brought it up with them, and then but nowadays they're great, you know. Like I said, I feel like it's them being a team is a lot more efficient than when it was just all
Hmm.
placed on one person, you know.
Yeah.
And then they're all really kind. Like Gomes and Gus are really kind. Dewey, I feel like me and Dewey are just like really unlucky. Um, like I don't have anything against him, but like I feel like whenever like 50% of the time we try to like communicate, it just someone ends up misunderstanding. I don't know why this happens, but it's unfortunate. But Dewey's
Mhm.
great. I haven't talked to Missy as much, but she's great. She's been doing a lot in terms of like making the moderation team more fair for like women and
Mhm.
like non
Yeah.
males in it, so that she's great. And Nadir also did some great stuff with the server, and it took me a while to get
Yeah.
used to that, but I feel like yeah, they're all very smart people. They're all really good at communicating. I feel like they all feel like very natural extensions of like what Trass was at the
Mhm.
beginning. Like I feel like they're all like very natural extensions of like Nathan and Steve's and Jack's morals and values, right?
Yeah.
Which makes sense. And so I feel like that's very nice because that's what keeps me around, you know? So they've been doing a really nice job. I really enjoy talking to them. I really enjoyed seeing them and yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. No, I love to hear that. Yeah. As I said in the beginning, like Gus, my brother, but he wasn't brought in because he's my brother. Gomez is my friend, but he wasn't brought in because he's just my friend. You know,
Yeah.
I deeply knew that they were good fits. They would able to come in and help people and do as much as I was doing with the same passion. So yeah, it's just awesome to hear that and hear that the entire team they are doing great and they are treating you guys well because that's something that I always try to do as much as I could. You know, make sure that we be fair with moderators. We you know you guys do an amazing job. You guys are the front line really, and yeah, I always was like, okay, we really need to hear them, understand them, and also improve their experience with the game. You know, that's what was always my goal, and happy that they are always expanding on that, and also making sure that you guys feel heard and treating you guys well, communicating and everything. So yeah, really appreciate that, Reaper.
Yeah. And then this will probably be hard for you to remember, but who do you think I should interview next?
Oh, anyone from the team?
Anyone from the like the trash team?
Yeah, or or are you just or a team or community members?
Yeah. I think I'll because obviously it's a lot harder to get the trash team to like agree to this. They're very busy people, right?
True.
So
Yeah.
I feel like if I were to like go through, I feel like the Gus and Gomes I could get on, but like I don't know
Hmm.
about some of the artists. I could maybe get on like Devin. I could maybe get on like uh what's his name? Julian.
Yeah.
Maybe John. Like all those are like big maybes. And I feel like if I were to get on either Steve or Nathan, they would say yes if these videos start getting like more traction, right? If they start, because like I don't have the largest channel, so like I feel like if I were to get them on, also they would have to have the time too. They're Nathan and Steve are the definition of busy, you know. So
Yeah.
if I were to get on those people, I'd have these videos would have to start like getting more
Fair.
thing. But like my whole idea was this is since I have a lot of connections with people, like I've done a lot of things in this game. I've met a lot of people. This would be like a good. And I was inspired by this channel in Geometry Dash that's been doing a similar thing, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, so yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you should try. Yeah, with the artist team, I think they're really good. Like Julian, he's a really good guy as well. Devon, John. But if you can't get a hold of them, I would say talk actually is interview one of the older mods. You know,
yeah,
Nyx or um, there are a few of them, but I would say start with Nix. Nix has always been helpful, and
Nix.
yeah.
Okay.
So Nix, right?
Um, I'm be honest, I'm blanking. Maybe he's changed his name since then.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure how you guys pronounce his name actually. So that should be
Wait,
just
spell it out. Spell it out.
oh, sorry, not too
Oh,
difficult to.
N1CS. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I always called him Nix.
Yeah, I don't worry. I know who he is. I know who he is. He's been around, like he's been around for a while. He was a God's Gravity
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, he was a Gods of Glory guys, right? So that's why I'm like, okay, talk with him, see out also what he was about, like what he thought about the changes, everything, like
Yeah,
because he was there since the beginning, just like you. So it's good to see a perspective similar to yours,
yeah,
and see, okay, where did we came from and how we are doing now,
yeah,
and I think he was around for the entire duration. He was a bit more active as well, so I feel like he will uh,
yeah. He's a lot
have
better of
more to share.
he's a lot better with me. Like I feel like most people are in terms of like as also Infinity. Do you remember Infinity?
Yeah, for sure.
But
I was
like
going to also say him, but
yeah,
yeah,
they're better with like they're not as active as I am when I'm in like my peak activity, right? But
yeah,
they don't disappear for months. So
exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. They are consistent in
yeah, they're
a
more
sense,
consistent.
but yeah. So yeah, go with one of them. No, Infinity, Nyx. I mean, sorry, it's not Nyx, but anyone's yes, but
Yeah,
yeah, go with one of them because I think they will have a lot to share and and yeah, they were there in times where it was more, ticket wise, it was just me and I was needing some help and everything. So I think they
yeah,
will have some good insights as well.
yeah. All right, well, thank you for the
Awesome.
interview. Thank you for your time.
No,
Um,
I appreciate you, man. I
I
appreciate
think
you.
this has been great. We got all most of the questions answered. We got a bunch of information, like people will enjoy this, Just gotta
Hopefully.
hope the algorithm likes us.
Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate you, Raper, for the invite. And yeah, it's always fun for me to talk about Yeeps. I'm still deeply involved, because my brother is here, my friend, I also I still talk with Dewey from time to time as well to see how he's doing. I talked a bit with Nadir as well, you know.
Yeah,
So I'm always involved in a sense, and always cheering for Eeps, always there if they need help as well. So
yeah,
because sometimes Gus is just like talking about something, I was like, oh, but why you didn't do it that way, or why don't you do this instead of that, or okay, if you need this help, I can help you to create this bot or something.
yeah.
So
It's truly a magical community.
for sure. No, I totally agree. I mean, they are amazing. And I know now there are even more people that are really, really active, So it changed a little
Yeah.
bit, I know, but
There's a lot of people retiring nowadays, but there's also a lot of people who's more active. It's always changing. That's the sad part is it's always changes. Like I was looking at it, and only 9 out of like the 37 or so of like the very first generation of mods in the game are still here.
yeah.
Um, Only
But it's
2,
understandable, right?
yeah,
It's understandable.
and then like only 2 of the 7 first Discord mods are still around, which is
Mhm.
yeah. So that's why it's nice when we have people like N1CS who are still here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, someone that I also should interview is James. James was
Yes, I
always an
was gonna do
amazing guy.
James. James,
Yeah.
hidden gem. I think he's the most influential player in the game, but just no one knows why. And I think you can
Yeah.
understand why. Like,
Yeah.
without a doubt, it's him, but just no one knows him. So I feel like I'm definitely gonna get in that interview with James. I could glaze James all day. James is
No,
amazing.
yeah. He was able to create some amazing stuff for Eeps, and yeah, if it wasn't him, we would have a lot of trouble for sure.
Yeah,
So yeah, no, he like the entire moderation team was actually relying on him.
yeah.
Even
Entire
in the
moderation team.
ticket system,
Same
and
thing with God.
yeah,
Same thing with God's Gravity too. Like all of it. Yeah. Well, thank you.
yeah, no problem, Raper, and
Here
yeah,
for a
if you need
while.
anything else, Yeah, no, I mean, when we start talking about Yeeps, it just flows, so
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, I appreciate you, and yeah, I'm really loving this series, and yeah, I'm going to actually start watching them.
start watching them.
So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. If
nice.
you do James, if you do, and once yes, and you get one of the artists, everyone, send me the link. I will
Yeah,
watch them as well
yeah.
because I found that very interesting to understand the perspective of everyone, you know. So yeah, I appreciate you for doing that.
All right, well, have a good rest of your day.
You too, man. Have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye bye.
See you later.